When you think about destructive winter storms and treacherous winter conditions, what do you usually think about? Most would probably say a very bad snowstorm. Feet of snow, trees falling over, snow-covered roads. But what if I told you that there was something even worse? Something that's more dangerous. Something that's even more treacherous. Deep dive, ice storms. So, ice storms are very significant, but lucky for us, a little bit more uncommon than the big blizzard that you would think about in terms of wintry pain overall. So, today we are going to take a deep dive into ice storms. Let's begin. So, what is an ice storm? An ice storm is a storm that produces at least a quarter of an inch of ice on exposed surfaces. Now, you may be saying, quarter of an inch? That's not that much. Well, in terms of snow and rain, that's not that much. But in terms of ice, that is enough for a car to lose traction on any surface. So how do these ice storms form? Ice storms form when freezing rain accumulates on all exposed surfaces. Freezing rain forms when the lowest levels of the atmosphere are below freezing while the upper atmosphere is above freezing. This causes rain to fall, but since it's colder on the lower levels, it will freeze on exposed surfaces. So up on top here, this picture shows the signature. You see cold air at the very top of the atmosphere. Every single type of precipitation starts out as snow, even rain. Then warm air above freezing in the middle levels of the atmosphere, and then the lower levels of the atmosphere before the snow can, or the rain at that point, can refreeze and turn back into probably sleet. It lands and freezes on the surface. And you can see on the bottom here the typical setup for an ice threat, with the warm moist air from the Gulf kind of coming in contact with the cold Canadian air and creating an ice threat. So, what are the impacts of ice storms? So, power outages can knock out heat to homes and can cause a hypothermia threat. Heavy accumulations of ice can bring down trees and topple utility poles and communication towers. Ice can disrupt communications and power for days while utility companies repair extensive damage. Even small accumulations of ice can be extremely dangerous to motorists and pedestrians. And most importantly, bridges and overpasses are particularly dangerous because they freeze before other surfaces. This is because the cold air moves underneath the bridge, making the bridge colder. That's why you see those signs that say bridge freezes before road. So how long can these impacts last? Depending on the severity of the storm, impacts can last for days. A half an inch of ice or more can persist on power lines for a while, and these impacts could be even longer if the temperature stays below freezing after the ice storm. So, how do you prepare? So, take precautions to lose power, such as making sure you have flashlights, candles, water, etc. Ice can accumulate on and take down power lines. Take precautions for treacherous travel, such as having an ice scraper, ice melt, and going slower speeds on untreated roads. They say, the DMV says, when there's ice on the road, crawl. So basically, don't go fast, you'll lose traction extremely quickly. So how often do ice storms occur? Major ice storms are pretty uncommon. They typically only occur 0 to 2 times per generation in a single spot, but more minor ice storms can occur more often. But that is all I have for ice storms. Genuinely one of the more interesting aspects of winter weather. So let me know what you think. Comment in the comment section down below, and if you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time.